Good morning, how are you doing? Hope you're okay. Welcome to Smart Means Business, and of course thank you very much for sticking around as well. The first segment was with the news recap with Barija Andrew taking you through some of the top stories that were being aired yesterday in the Business Today bulletin. All right, now we start this particular segment still in the first hour of the show with the press review here this morning. And now with the press review, we have something from the New Vision and the Daily Monitor. The New Vision has a headline regarding the NSSF paying members a record of 1.2 trillion Ugandan shillings, with over 21,700 having benefited from the 20% of the midterm access. This and more is courtesy of the New Vision following the NSSF annual forum that happened yesterday. We also had that report running in our bulletin yesterday in regards to the annual forum, where NSSF pays members a record of 1.2 trillion Ugandan shillings. And also, still with the New Vision, in the economy part of it, behind the rising sugar prices is a detailed story here in the New Vision as the prices of sugar continue to rise. What may have led to this particular rise? This and more is still here with the New Vision. Now, also the New Vision has a report regarding over 150 small and medium-sized enterprises who are said to benefit from the 1 billion shilling program. This particular program is coming in from the government, and you can definitely get it from the New Vision. It is a program where they want to see these SMEs develop and grow bigger. Now, also the oil projects taking center stage. According to President Museveni, this will go on as planned, and so Ugandans should not be worried. In here, there is a pictorial where President Museveni was with the general manager of Total Energies, and as well as this was apparently at the 7th Oil and Gas Summit at the Kampala Serena Hotel, the 7th International Oil and Gas Summit. This was yesterday still at the Kampala Serena Hotel. Now also with the New Vision, NEMA has ordered Sugar Farm to restore forest. Which Sugar Farm is that? This is coming in from the New Vision, and the Sugar Farm is the Hoima Sugar Limited, which has been set to order, and the company is supposed to go away from the degraded forest in Chikube. Okay, now lastly, from the press review, we look at the Daily Monitor, where NSSF tags lower interest rate to midterm access. This is still with the NSSF annual forum, which happened yesterday. Then also, in regards to our oil, Kingfisher ring is set to be installed by December. There is a pictorial of trucks carrying oil drilling equipment at the Malaba border at the weekend. The first consignment arrived at the Kingfisher oil field in Chikube district. That was earlier on Monday. So that is courtesy of the Daily Monitor as well. So that and more is what you can get from these particular papers today. Besides that, now let's head to the SMB International News. All right, now with the SMB International News, we start with the Kenya Ports Authority, as Kenya has quashed order on the compulsory use of the standard gauge railway to transport cargo. The traders in Kenya can now clear their cargo at the border at the port of Mombasa and choose the mode of transport to Nairobi and the hinterlands after Kenya Ports Authority reverted custom services to the coastal city in line with the presidential decree. And KPA, which is the Kenya Ports Authority, has issued a notice to quash a 2018 notification banning the nomination of cargo to Mombasa and compulsory use of the standard gauge railway for ferrying cargo. The Shippers Council Eastern Africa Chief Executive, that is Gilbert Langat, said that the notice has ended confusion on the implementation of the presidential directive. President William Ruto, the new president in Kenya, issued a directive a fortnight ago ordering that all cargo clearance should be reverted back to Mombasa Port. Now, cargo transporters had been protesting the directive by the former President Uhuru Kenyatta to ferry their goods to Nairobi or Naivasha via the standard gauge railway for onward clearance, saying that this particular one had raised the cost of doing business, with the costs passed on to the consumers. Now, Kenya Transport Association Chairman Newton Wango said the standard gauge railway should compete with roads on an equal opportunity basis. This will ultimately lower the cost of transport in Kenya. And away from Kenya, we head to Tanzania, as the Tanzania and U.S. partnership is moving further, as the U.S. delegation is now in Tanzania to explore investment opportunities between the two countries. A delegation of 19 U.S. companies is currently in Tanzania, and this particular one is set to explore investment opportunities in the various sectors. The chairman of the American Chamber of Commerce in Tanzania, that is Geoffrey Machangela, did reveal on Tuesday, September 27, 2022, that a group of investors had interests in, but not limited to, agriculture, information and communications technology, energy and productive sectors. Now, explaining the aspect of their interest in the energy sector, Nchangila, who doubles as the Citibank Tanzania Chief Executive Officer, said that the United States is keen on investing in alternative energy sources. The images that you're seeing were earlier this year when President Samia Suluhu Hassan met the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, in there. And one of the other key discussions was not only political attachments, but also looking at boosting bilateral relations and boosting the trade partnership between the United States and that of the people of Tanzania. Now, lastly, we head to iPhone maker Apple. As just recently, Apple released the iPhone 14 earlier this month. As you can see now, Apple has said it will make some of its iPhone 14 in India. Now, Apple has asked manufacturers to shift production from China. This is because of geopolitical tensions amid different pandemic restrictions. Apple Incorporation will make some of its iPhone 14s in India, the company has said, as the manufacturers shift production from China amid the geopolitical tensions and pandemic restrictions. Now, these ones have disrupted supply chains for many industries, not only Apple. Now, Apple unveiled its latest lineup of iPhones earlier this month. They will have improved cameras, fast processors, and long-lasting batteries at the same prices as last year's models. Also, letting the iPhone users get to update to iOS 16. India is the world's second largest smartphone market after China, but then Apple iPhone sales have struggled to capture a large share of the market, which is against cheaper smartphones from a range of Chinese brands. Now, also, Bloomberg News had reported last month that the company was planning to manufacture some of its iPhone 14 in India. Now, the announcement from the Cupertino, California-based company Dovetails with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's push for local manufacturing, which has been a key goal for his government since he took office in 2014. And there you have it from the iPhone maker Apple, and that brings us to the end of SMB International News. Let's get into the business tips this morning. Okay, the business tip says tell your story visually. Visuals can help your message become actionable. Things like videos, whiteboards, images, or other pictures will show how your prospect's problem will be solved with what you're selling. Now, by using images, you create contrast, which can create the feeling of urgency, which will help you close the sale. Tell your story visually. Now, the fact that visual reality is something to talk about currently, you get to realize that you telling your story or telling people about what you're selling visually or through images creates the contrast, or people can get to easily attach to what they have and what you're selling. In that way, they can look at it and compare to see which is far better, because as you're waking up in the morning to go out to the marketing field to try and see how you can achieve your goals by getting these clients on board, the best way to do so is to ensure that you clearly understand that people will want to attach themselves to something they are already saying, or that they can practically feel or touch. So in that way, if at all you're selling if at all you're rendering a service, or you are actually giving out a product or selling out a product, it is better to at least tell your story visually. Let people get to attach themselves to that particular story or to that particular product that you're giving out, and in that way it will be easier for them to get attached to it. Okay, now besides that, let's have the business quote as well. Heather Breast, the CEO of Mylan, says there is simply no substitute for hard work when it comes to achieving success. There is simply no substitute for hard work when it comes to achieving success. When you look at this particular one, truly tells you, if you do not work hard, then do not dream of the success. You may work hard as well as working smart. It depends on how hardworking you are, but sometimes you get to realize there is no substitute for that hard work if you want to ever achieve the success. If at all you want to see success get close to you, then that means you have to ensure that hard work is priority. And at the end of the day, you will receive this particular success hitting you left, right, and center. And that is the quote as well as the business tip this morning from the Smart Means Business. And now, as we take you into a break, just a quick reminder, we are on DSTV channel 372, GoTV channel 394, driving your business far and beyond. Every weekday, every morning that you wake up, you are definitely going in touch with the business world to understand more of what is coming up from there. At least that way you can easily get in touch with the business community, get to understand how different markets are trading, how different businesses are moving on, and which government programs are out there that will be benefiting the business community. Our website is www.smart24.tv, and then the YouTube channel is Smart24TV and Smart24TV Live. We are also on other social media platforms like Instagram, Smart24_TV, Twitter, Smart24TV, and Facebook, Smart24TV Official. And I'm Jerome Paul Sonko on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We can interact, talk more of the business as we grow bigger. Smart24 is here 24/7, and so is Smart Means Business from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. So when we return, we'll be heading into the second hour of the show, of which we will be starting it off with the Coffee Court discussions. Stick around. Good morning.